Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Honourable Member, Srimati Prabha Mallikarjun. Honourable Member Prabha Mallikarjun. Please come. No, please.
Honourable Speaker,
बैठे बैठे पास वाले ज्यादा लोग बोलते हैं पास वाले और समय दीजिए प्लीज.
Honourable Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to speak on the Union budget. I rise today not just as a critic of this budget, but as a concerned citizen and a member of Parliament representing Karnataka's Davangere Lok Sabha constituency. I stand to contest what the incumbent government promises of its failed Viksit Bharat dream. They say, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. The reality reads more like, Kuch Ka Saath, Chunimda Corporate Ka Vikas. This government boasts of economic growth. Let me put out some shivering facts to the ears of our Treasury bench. The Honourable Finance Minister says she has heard the voice of the middle class while rolling out changes in tax slabs. Let's be aware that only 6.68% of India's population filed income tax returns in 2023-24 fiscal year. India's population is around 142 crore. Which middle class is the Finance Minister talking about? What relief are you offering to the poor who live with less than ₹100 a day? Graduate unemployment rate stands at 29.1%, which is the highest in recent history. In general, the unemployment rate had even peaked to 9.2% in June 2024. Since 2014, real wage growth has been abysmal. Agricultural labourers' wages increased by just 0.8%, non-agricultural workers by 0.2%, and construction workers face negative wage growth. The number of billionaires has surged to 200, with the wealth rising 41% in 2024, while the top 1% now control more than 40% of India's wealth, which is the highest inequality since the British rule. The public sector banks have written off 9.90 lakh crore in bad loans to corporates in the past 5 years. Is this Viksit Bharat? The household debt is at a record 39% of GDP. 100 million promised manufacturing jobs which never materialized. 24 lakh SMEs units have shut down since 2015-16. The communal violence is at its peak. Has the government uttered a single word on the need for secularism and brotherhood? This is the state of Viksit Bharat we are living in. Because of Viksit Bharat is completely lost and nowhere to be seen. The gross injustice the NDA government has done to India cannot be washed off even if they take a dip in the holy Kumbh Mela. Our farmers are struggling with the NABARD allocation slashed by 58% and cooperative banks tripled, forcing lakhs of farmers into private moneylenders' hands. Meanwhile, the government remains silent on legally guaranteeing MSP, leaving farmers vulnerable to exploitation. Honourable Speaker, sir, let me now turn to what I call this government's triple talaq on rural India. The systematic dismantling of Manrega, NABARD and our self-help groups. As a doctor, I present the latest chapter in this government's healthcare horror story. The Finance Minister has allocated rupees 99,858 crore for healthcare in financial year 25-26. Let me give you the real prognosis. The current medical inflation rate in India is 14%, which is highest among Asian countries, including China. We have a 79.5% shortfall of specialists, and doctors are working 36-hour shifts. Let's talk about priorities. India's healthcare spending stands at just 2% of GDP. For a nation aiming to become a developed economy by 2047, how can we dream of a Viksit Bharat when lakhs of people still go bankrupt over hospital bills? Even the PPP model is suffering with no governance structure and zero ownership. It's become nothing more than publicity, propaganda, and photography. As a medical professional, I can tell you this isn't universal health care, it's universal health care. So just 2 minutes. Speaker, sir, our constitution describes India as a union of states in Article 1. The idea of cooperative federalism is being systematically eroded by this government, and Karnataka is among the top contributors to the national economy. Karnataka contributes rupees 4.3 lakh crore in taxes, yet receives only 13 paisa for every 1 rupee given, yet the centre happily distributes funds elsewhere to serve its political interests. Despite these betrayals, Karnataka continues to lead by example, allocating rupees 52,000 crore for welfare schemes, which even the UNGA President Philomen Yang has hailed Karnataka's guarantee schemes for empowering women, endorsing them as a model for global adoption and future UN workshops. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes our duty. This budget exposes the government's neglect, widening inequality, and failure to address the nation's pressing crisis. Deception cannot replace real governance, and empty rhetoric will not mask the hardships faced by millions. If accountability is ignored today, consequences will be unavoidable tomorrow. I would like to end my speech by quoting the great Kannada poet Sarvagna, which expresses the plight of Karnataka state at the hands of the centre. Gorkalla mel malegaredare, akkallu neeru kuduvude Sarvagna. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka, Jai Samvidhan.
Thank you. Honorable Member Bisal Pat.